are watching Wave Watch, California's only surf show. Brought to you by John Bass with Peter Townend hosting the surfers of today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Wave Watch. Watch it.
Hi, I'm Peter Townend and welcome to Wave Watch. We've got a special show for you tonight in the tribute to Tom Curren. He's just won the World Championship, the first American ever to win a World Championship, and I'm sure everyone here in the United States is very excited about that. So we've decided to do a whole show about Tom Curren's surfing career and put together all the footage for all you footage fans out there together in one show that we've ever had of Tommy, and I'm sure you'll be excited about that. You know, Tom Curren burst onto the scene in the early 80s, and he kind of surprised everybody. He went to France and he won the Junior World Championship, and it kind of, everyone was wondering who this kid was from Santa Barbara. He was riding these little twin fins, and if I remember back to an early show, we've got some footage of him on that twin fin, and we'll check that out and then we'll be back.
These waves, Tom, look pretty good this day. When was this?
Well, this is a day in January, a couple years ago in 1981. It was during the Redondo Beach Zuma J contest or something.
All right, I remember that one. Yeah.
It was huge at the contest, and we were going back, and we followed Willie up to this place from the contest. And we just got excellent waves, and I've only surfed. This is the only time I've surfed there.
Looks like a pretty radical wave at the takeoff there.
Yeah, it's a really radical wave. But what happens is on the inside section, you can actually ride way back inside the tube, and a little tiny backwash kind of a wave will push you along about 10 feet back inside the tube. So you're getting, there's like this little wedge that's pushing you along inside the tube. So.
Well, those waves look pretty fantastic. I wish we could get a few like that right now.
Yeah, I think we need a few.
It's been a while since we had a couple. Look at that one there, incredible.
Yeah, I lost that one.
You on a twin fin in those ones?
Yeah, actually, that at that time, that board was really too small for me. I was just kind of squirreling around.
All these things, you've got this going and that going. Is it hard to keep control of the situation?
Well, I've been really busy in the last few months. I feel, being married is kind of instead of a sort of a thing to draw me back, I think it's a real boost, and it's really given me energy to go on. And
so what are your goals for this next year? How do you think you'll do over the next ASP World Tour?
Well, my goals are, just to establish myself and, try and get into to where I'm seated. And hopefully I'll just try to establish myself.
So there's Tommy ripping it up on his twin fin. From twin fins, of course, like everybody else, he got into thrusters and quickly adapted to the thruster. And of course, the design that he was working on with surfboard shaper Al Merrick was a lot refined and thinner than most guys were riding at the time. And he quickly became very, very good at his home break in Rincon, Santa Barbara. In 1982, Tommy went down to Australia, back to my home country, actually travelling with me. We went down for the World Amateur Surfing Championships and set the world on fire. He was really beginning to make his mark. Headed down to, the Australian territory where surfing's been the dominant force for many years now, and beat the Aussies on their home turf at Burleigh Heads. Now, of course, he turned then back to come to California and made his first shot at professional surfing and won the Stubbies California Surf Trials at Trestles. From there he went into the OP Pro and lost a very tactical decision to Shane Arand in the quarterfinals and finished 5th in his first major pro event. Of course, from then on he just started to set the world on fire, winning events in Japan and Australia, and then doing 2 OP Pros in a row. Of course, Tommy was ripping it up all along, and just a little bit of a break from Tommy's career himself, we've decided to throw in the crew that he's going to be joining, the illustrious crew. You remember earlier this year we did a show called The Champs, which detailed the last 5 world champions, myself, Wayne Bartholomew, Sean Thompson, the great 4-time winner Mark Richards, and of course Tom Curren. So we're going to go and look at some of the waves of those guys ripping it up, and then we'll be back to talk more about Tommy.
Help my son, where will it go when I'm gone? I wish I knew, is there a life, another life to come? Help my soul, don't you know life isn't that long? I have to know, so help me please before I've gone. I'll say goodbye, maybe we'll meet another day. I'll say goodbye, you know I've tried but I can't stay. I'll say goodbye and turn my back on life today. I'll say goodbye and now just slip away. Help my soul, the candle glows and burns down low. Don't you know, I hear them calling, I've got to go. Help my soul, time goes too fast and seems so slow. I wanna know, before I leave, who helped my soul. I'll say goodbye, maybe we'll meet another day. I'll say goodbye, you know I've tried but I can't stay. I'll say goodbye and turn my back on life today. I'll say The candle glows and burns down low. Don't you know, I hear them calling, I've got to go. Help my soul, time goes too fast and seems so slow. I want to know, before I leave, who helped my soul. I'll say goodbye, maybe we'll meet another day. I'll say goodbye, you know I've tried but I can't stay. I'll say goodbye and turn my back on life today. I'll say goodbye and now just slip away. I'll say goodbye, maybe we'll meet another day. I'll say goodbye, you know I've tried but I can't stay. I'll say goodbye and turn my back on life today. I'll say goodbye and now just slip away. I'll say goodbye, maybe we'll meet another day. I'll say goodbye, you know I've tried but I can't stay. I'll say goodbye and turn my back on life today. I'll say goodbye and I'll just slip away.
Watching all those champs rip it up there tonight, you know, you go out and try and do some of that stuff, you can really hurt yourself, as evidenced by the fact that Tom Curren in this championship year hurt himself really badly at Sunset in a wipeout and did some knee damage. And Dr. Alex is here with us tonight, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about knees and how you can prevent getting yourself into a serious knee situation.
Thanks, Peter. You know, these days with performance-oriented surfing, a lot of people are doing hard off the tops, hard bottom turns. You put a lot of strain usually on the back foot because you're leaning it and you have your foot way back on the tail. So we see a lot of knee problems these days. And first thing I want to say is if you do injure your knee, it doesn't necessarily mean, even if it hurts a lot, that you need surgery or anything like that. So don't get all worried over it. But the sooner you get it treated, it's very, very important. Now, if we focus down on this knee over here, the most common areas where a knee gets injured is usually what we call the medial side or the internal side. You can either strain the ligament that runs down through here, or you can jam the cartilage that sits way down in here, what we call the meniscus. And a lot of people have heard of that because athletes, football players, the like, a lot of times have surgery if they injure it real bad. But for the most part, you can also injure the ligament on the outside or the cartilage that's in there also. The thing that you need to understand, if you do hurt your knee, even if it's fairly minor, it's a good idea to get out of the water, and something that's really good to keep around in your ice cooler, especially if you're surfing contests, is one of these. This is an ice pack. You can buy them just about anywhere, any supermarket and the like. They take a couple hours to get ice cold, and the best thing to use on any acute, what we call sudden type injury, whether it's knee or anything else, is an ice pack. And for instance, if you had strained the ligament in here, you can just put it on there like that. And we recommend that you use ice for about half an hour, 45 minutes, directly on the skin like so. And these are nice because they're nice and flexible, and again, you can buy them anywhere. But it's also very important, if you do injure your knee and you're serious about your surfing, about your health, to get it diagnosed properly and have it looked over by an expert. We've taken patients like Willie Morris that were told to stay out of the water for 2 months, so we got him back in 2 weeks, and that's by getting the proper diagnosis and treatment. That's it.
Well, thanks, Dr. Alex. And, you know, as I said, both Tom Curren and Tom Carroll have had knee injuries in the past, so if you get yourself in a situation where you're feeling a bit of pain in that knee, you should get it taken care of. If you need some more advice or help from Dr. Alex, you can call WaveWatch and we'll tell you how to get a hold of him.
Hey, Mr. Music, I say, hey, Mr. Music, give me the rhythm, come make me nice and chill on, come make me rock it till dawn, but them no nice like me, them no know it like me, can do it like me, sing the lyrics like me, write the rhythm properly. Like me, good speed, hold him in the lead. Hey, hey, set speed, hold him in the lead. Hey, 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 Mr. Music, hey, Mr. Music. I say, hey, Mr. Music, give me the rhythm, make me go on. Give me the rhythm, make me go on. Come make me nice and chill on. Come make you rock it till the dawn. And if you want the Ramadan song, how we have to do it. And if you want the Gaga State show, Lord, how we have to do it. Hey, we're on top of the top 10. Lyrics we no borrow, all don't be lame. Bring it to your enemy and tell it to your friend. I come to run the dance all again. Hey, hey, Mr. Music, sure sound good to me. Hey, hey, Mr. Music, you're gonna make me feel happy. But them no nice like me, no know like me, can't play like me, can mix the reggae like me. Set speed, hold them in the lead. Hey, hey, set speed, I said we hold them in the lead. Alright, here and every wheel. Watch the doctor with the anthem in the ear. Watching the strong and have no fear. And they cooking in my boss and you don't care. Hey, Mr. Music. Hey, Mr. Music. Hey, Mr. Music. Give me the rhythm, make me go on. Give me the rhythm, make me go on. Come make me nice and chill on. From my desk till dawn. Uptown, downtown, all around town. Anywhere you go, we up in everywhere sound. Crucial rhythm, yes, we're flinging down. I man knows that we happy with the crowd, yeah. We happy with the crowd, y'all. Hey, Mr. Music.
What's good about trying big maneuvers in small surf in Hawaii is that there's so much power there that you can almost pull off anything, and you can attempt anything you want.
Of course, as Tom was ripping into these OP pros, he was gradually climbing up the pro ranks until in this current season he's been poised from the very beginning to win the World Championship this year. The only person that has really given him a real run for his money has been Barton Lynch, who has hung tough to the very end. Tom's won 5 events on the tour this year, and of course it's all culminating right now in Australia, and he went down there and immediately set the tone that he wanted this World Championship this year by winning the Stubbies. He faltered a little bit in Sydney in the bow repairs, losing to Derek Ho in the second round, but then came back again strong at Bells Beach to take a second and put the title out of Barton Lynch's grasp by just being too far in front. We're real happy that Tom Curren has won this World Championship here at Wave Watch, and we look forward to getting him on a show in the very near future.